Hello. Today's lesson is about fraction multiplication. Specifically, it's about multiplying whole numbers times fractions. Now, I know that many of you have learned how to multiply whole numbers by fractions. And you'll show me something like this. And you'll go 30 times 2/5 is equal to 30 over 1 times 2/5. And then maybe you'll do some cross canceling and you'll cross this out and put a 6 and cross this out and put a 1. And then you'll do equals 6 times 2 is 12, and 1 times 1 is 1, and that's equal to 12. And yes, that's correct, but it's mechanical, and it doesn't show any understanding of what's going on, and why are you doing the things that you're doing. It seems like you're following directions instead of really knowing what you're doing. And it's fine, and you can continue to do that. It's just not elegant. It's just not thoughtful. So I want to show you a different way of thinking about it. First thing you have to understand is that fractions are division. 10 divided by 2 is equal to 10 over 2, which is 5. These things mean the same thing. 10 divided by 2 is 10 divided by 2, which is 5. 24 divided by 6 is 24 divided by 6, which is 4. It is the exact same thing. Fractions are division. Division are fractions. It is the exact same thing. Okay, now, you try it. Evaluate each expression. So, here you go. Figure them out. Okay, had enough time? Did you do this? 20/4 is equal to 20 divided by 4, which is 5. 60/10 is 60 divided by 10, which is 6. Easy, right? So if you see something in the denominator, that means that we're going to be dividing by it. Okay, it is going to be the divisor. Okay, now on to multiplication. All right, 3 times 6 is 18 because 3 groups of 6, 1 group of 6, 2 groups of 6, 3 groups of 6 makes 18 altogether. 3 groups of 6. How many 6s? 3 of them. 1, 2, 3 makes 18. 2 groups of 6, 2 groups of 6 is 12. 1 group of 6, 6. Easy. Okay? So how many groups of 6 do we want for 1/2 times 6? Do we want a whole group of 6? No. We only want half of a group of 6. That's half of a group of 6. And how many is it? It's 3. Therefore, 1/2 times 6 is 3. Well, that makes sense. Because 1/2 isn't the 2 in the denominator? Therefore, we should be dividing it. So 1/2 times 6 is equal to 6 divided by 2, which is 3. Okay, so what's the value of this? 1/3 times 6 is 2 because 1/3 times 6 is 6 divided by 3. So let's think about 40. Here are 40. It's actually 40. 4 times 10, 40. Okay? 40 times 1/2 is 20. Here's half of 40. 40 times 1/4, cut it into 4 pieces, is 10. 40 divided by 4 is 10. 40 times 1/5 is 8. See, take 40, divide it by 5, you get 8. 40 times 1/8 is 5. Take 40, divide it into 8 pieces. How many are in each piece? 5 of them are in each piece. All right, 40 times 1/10 is 4. Take 40, divide it into 10 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces. Each one is 4. Okay? Next. 40 divided times 1/20th is 2. 40 divided by 20 is 2. Take 40, cut it into 20 pieces, you get 2. All right, so let's back up a little bit. 40 times 1/40th is 1. Take 40, cut it into 40 pieces. How many are in each piece? 1. Okay, now you try each of these. 60 times 1/5 and 80 times 1/20th. Just do dividing, get the answer very quickly. If you don't have the answer yet, you're not doing it right. Did you get 12 and 4? After all, 60 divided by 5 is 12. 80 divided by 20 is 4. See how easy? All right. But did you notice that all these numerators have been 1, 1/20th, 1/5, 1/40th, 1/20th, 1/10th, etc.? What happens if the numerator of the fraction isn't 1? Right, so let's think about 40 again. Here's 40. We're going to do 40 times 1/8 is 5. So 40 times 1/8 is 5. 40 times 3/8 is 15. Because it's 3, it's 3, 1, 2, 3 of the sets of 5. 3 of the eighths. Easy? In other words, 3/8 times 40 is 40 divided by 8 times 3. 40 divided by 8 times 3. Why divide by 8? Because it's in the denominator. It's telling you how many pieces to cut it into. And why multiply by 3? Because that's the numerator. It's telling us how many of those pieces we care about. All right, so how would you find this value? 60 times 7/10. Well, you do 60 divided by 10 times 7. 60 divided by 10 is 6. 6 times 7 is 42. All right, try these. You can use what you knew from before. You know what to divide by, you know what to multiply by. You should have the answers already. Did you get 24 and 12? 60 divided by 5 is 12. 12 times 2 is 24. 80 divided by 20 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. All right. So that's the basic idea. You divide by the denominator, multiply by the numerator, and you're done. Very simple. Let's just approach it from a different direction. Okay, 1 times 1/5 is obviously 1/5. 2 times 1/5 is 2/5. 3 times 1/5 is 3/5. 4 times 1/5 is 4/5. 5 times 1/5 is 5/5, which is 1 whole. But 5 times 1/5 should be 5 divided by 5. And what's 5 divided by 5? 1. See? 1 whole. 6 times 1/5 is 6/5. 7 times 1/5 is 7/5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 times 1/5 is 8/5. 5 over here, 3 over here makes 8/5. 9 times 1/5 is 9/5. By the way, use fractions. Don't use mixed numbers. Mixed numbers are evil. 9/5 is easy to understand. And 10 times 1/5 is 2. See? 10/5 is 2. And it makes sense because what's 10 divided by 5? 2. All right, you try it. So, write down these expressions and evaluate. I'll give you some time. By the way, you won't be confused by the negatives and positives. You know that 1 negative will be negative and 2 negatives makes positive. Go ahead, finish up. Okay, you should be done by now. If you're not done, pause the video. Alright. Did you get these answers? Let's examine them. Okay? So, no, I want highlighter. 40 divided by 8 is 5. 5 times 5 is 25, and it's negative because of the negative sign. 30 divided by 5 is 6. 6 times 3 is 18, and it's negative because of the negative sign. 50 divided by 10 is 5. Times 7 is 35, and it's positive because there's two negative signs that cancel each other out. Okay, let's try this. 15 divided by 5 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. No reason for it to be negative. 28 divided by 7 is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 18 divided by 9 is 2. 2 times 5 is 10. Again, no reason for it to be negative. Do you understand the concept? Okay. Make sure that you ask for help if you need it.